كم من علم لا ينفع وقلب لا يخشع ونفس لا تشبع ودعاء لا يسمع ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي آمين. So it's only أيام معدودات, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, few days left. Today is Tuesday. Allah knows it could be next Tuesday we'll be praying Taraweeh inshallah. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us life to live to next week, to see it. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us to practice what we learned, what we taught, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring our hearts on Him, pull dunya away from us, at least for the month of Ramadan. Ameen ya Rabbi. The reason I chose this topic today, you'll be surprised. I was in London 3 weeks ago giving a talk. There was like 180 women there, right? And a young boy stood up. It's like probably was 8 or 9, amazingly, literally. And he said, what is the best dua I do in Ramadan? No, it's not the question, the answer. The question is the question itself. Like you have a 9-year-old boy stood up in the middle of all these women, right? And it was beautiful. I mean, I don't remember his name, of course, I don't know. But it was amazing. So it's something made me think. But the point is, like, you are asking for the best thing to do. It's a very good news. That's the best thing you do. It's not, unfortunately, we all look at this is like, what should I do? We need to move from what should I do, it's what's the best I do. Do you know the point? So it's not like how many rak'at I do. And we always get this discussion, 8 or 20. It's not the point of 8 or 20. The point is, what's the best I can do in these two? Because some ladies, especially women, cannot do 20, cannot do 8. So right, some people, even men, for whatever the reason is, they cannot do. So it's not, I shouldn't focus on numbers, and that's a huge problem for us. It's focus on the quality, as we always say. Quality versus quantity. I want the quality. And this is why, inshallah, by Allah's grace, we have been focusing on the best thing, the best Ramadan, the best. So what is the best dua I should do in Ramadan? And why should I even think of dua, supplication or invocation? First thing, before we start in Ramadan, you need always, me, myself, as a Muslim, remember the virtue of a dua, of supplication, of invocation. And we, unfortunately, all of us, if not most of us, miser. When do we do the dua?
When you're in need.
Exactly. When I'm in need. And the need, unfortunately, it's the usual small needs. My son is sick, he or she has an exam, I want something, dunya, and then you see me, I'm up at 3 a.m. in the morning making all this dua. Next day, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by His grace, gave me what I want. Next day, I'm sleeping. So this needs to be changed, because it is not the time of the dua versus it's the state of the dua. And when I make a dua, as a Muslim, my answer should be always. I need Allah, I don't need Allah. I shouldn't say I don't need Allah. I always need Allah. It's just the needs sometimes become obvious, and sometimes the needs are hidden. Don't I want my grave to be a palace, a piece of Jannah every day? Then why don't I do this? This is more important than my child sick, or I want to get something, or I want this job, or I want something in dunya. So number one, we have to look at dua as it should be part of my life. And like I said this last weekend, it's the least expensive, the least requirement needed is the dua. I don't need anything literally. I don't need to make it happen. We're going to talk about, there is like things to make it better. But literally, I don't need anything. I don't need time. I don't need direction. I don't need to be in a state of wudu. I don't need even to be covered. I don't need to be from this time to that time. Anytime, anywhere except one place, which is the bathroom. Anywhere else, it's open invitation. I do it with my heart, that's fine. I do it with my tongue only, that's okay. I do it with both. The best is both. But look at us, how many of the 24 hours we do? 5, 10, 15 minutes? Look at us after Salah. So the first thing I want to change is, and this is one of the training camps of Ramadan, because in general we make more dua in Ramadan. In general. Yani even if we don't do it individually, at least in witr every night. So this is a training camp for me, that when I leave Ramadan, I enter and I leave with the best thing. One of the best thing is that dua became part of my life. That's number one. Number two, to make this happen, why dua is so important? Why supplication is so important? I mean, few hadiths. الدعاء مخ العبادة. الدعاء, it's a weak hadith, but الدعاء, actually this is not the one. الدعاء هو العبادة. That's the Sahih hadith. The dua, supplication, it's an act of worship. It's actually, another translation, it is the act of worship. So if I look at dua like I am making my salah, or Ramadan, I'm fasting next week, I need to move it as a priority. Number one. Number two, in a very nice hadith of Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, and he said the following: مَنْ لَمْ يَسْأَلِ اللَّهِ يَغْضَبْ عَلَيْهِ. Whomsoever doesn't ask Allah, Allah will not be happy with him, or Allah will be angry with him. Subhanallah. And especially if you, and Allah loves exactly opposite what we do. Allah loves that we keep asking. Keep asking, keep asking. For us as a human being, you ask me one, you ask me two, the third, I'm not answering. The third is like, how many times you're going to ask me? The third time, I'm not going to answer the phone. Subhanallah. Allah is exactly the opposite. So that's the first thing. I need to look at the dua, supplication, in a different way. Number two is, what is the required or manners of a dua? What is the manners of dua? Does it have any manners? So you praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Istighfar, okay. So you said salah ala Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam. طيب, let me share with you more than that. Internal, you always, inshallah by now, we all have learned to look internal before external. Everything we said is true, but that's external. The most important thing in a dua is what? You are sincere. You are sincere to Allah only. Yani when I am making the dua, in me, and I'll need to train myself, should say, you are the only one who can do it. No one else can do it. Whatever you are asking. Sometimes we use this when we think the thing is very difficult. Or I have, may Allah forgive us, I've tried everything and then nothing worked. So I'll turn and say, Ya Allah, you are the only one who can do it now. Now. It should be, you are, from day one, from the moment from the moment I need something, from the moment I look at something, I say, you are the only one. But in me, as a human being, will say, but she has, for example, I'm going to interview her tomorrow. I need the job, or I need her to work for me, for example, or I need this girl to my son. So I need to talk to this person. It's true, these are means. But I need, number one, to turn to Allah and says, you are the only one who's going to make this girl good for my son, for example. Or that person will give me the job. So number one, ikhlasu du'a illallah, sincerity. Number one. Number two, you only ask from Allah, and this is very hard. And as simple as, if I'm coming here for Taraweeh and I came late, and this can easily happen, what's inside you? Ya Allah, where is the parking? I'm not going to find a park, let alone where I'm going to pray. Right? This is natural. This is normal. If I immediately turned, and instead of calling my friend and says, you know what, I'm going to be late, make sure you keep a room, a space for me, which is very common. And by the way, this is, please don't do it. I don't want to say it's not allowed, but some scholars will tell you it's not allowed. You cannot reserve places in the house of Allah for your friend who will come. It's first serve, first base, first serve. Whoever comes first, that's it. So instead of saying this, I'm going to say, Ya Allah, give me a place. Khalas.
Does this mean tawakkul on Allah?
It's not only tawakkul, definitely it's tawakkul, but in you are saying you are the only one who can make the impossible possible. And if you really try this, try it. Yani, try it in Ramadan and see the wonders you're going to see. So that number two, in me, I know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the impossible can make it possible. Three, when you pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in everything, Ask Allah the same way as if your child is really sick. May Allah give everyone health. Yani, as if a mother is losing her child. They told her nothing is left. How was the dua will be? Dua al-faqir, they call it. The dua of the beggar. I really need it. And you keep doing this. And then your heart is there. Like, look at us, like, Ya Rabbi, give me, and then my ear is listening to what they are saying. My eyes is looking who's next to me, let alone I'm looking at my phone, right? And then, and the reason of this is because of this hadith, ادعوا الله وأنتم موقنون بالإجابة واعلموا أن الله لا يقبل دعاء قلب لا أو غافل. Ask Allah, and you are sure that Allah will answer you. That's the tawakkul, that Allah for sure will give you sooner or later in the way that He sees it the best. And never say if you can. Don't you ever say if it is good for me. That's in dua al-istikhara. But in general, Ya Allah, give me this. You are the only one who can give me. Number one. And what the hadith is saying, know that Allah will not answer someone whose their heart is not there. Their heart is deviant. The heart at the time of dua is distracted. طيب? Then
To say if it is good for me.
you don't say if it's good for me, that's dua al-istijaba. That's dua al-istikhara. That's a special dua when you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala specifically in detail. If it is good for me in my deen, in my dunya, then give it to me, make it happen, put blessing in it. And if it is not good for me in my life, in the hereafter, then remove it from me and remove my heart from it, give me better than it. That's dua al-istikhara. But when you are asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you don't say, Ya Allah, cure my child if it's good for him. You don't do that. Right? Then we're going to look for time for the special times, and we're going to come to it very shortly. Then what you all said, start with praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then you say salam, praise Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, and then, which a lot of us don't do this, you acknowledge you're weak and you're a sinner. الاعتراف بالذنب, especially if you're, can we please leave this? Can we please leave this? I don't know who, but can we leave it after the maghrib? Acknowledge that, especially if you're asking Allah for forgiveness, especially if something is going on and it was going and then it stopped, or things changed, or things getting bad, because you always have to think, is it because of my sins? And we don't know this. Is it because of my sins? This is what's happening. So usually you move the sins, and you keep the dua repeatedly at least 3 times. Ya Allah, cure my son, cure my son, cure my son. Ya Allah, make me live to Ramadan. Make me live to Ramadan, make me live to Ramadan. Out of the etiquettes of it is you are in a state of wudu. It's etiquette, it's not a requirement. In a state of wudu, and you turn to the Qibla. If, like for example, wherever you are, if you can do that. So remember these. Now come to Ramadan. So now we learned a little bit about the dua. Now come to Ramadan. Is there any specific dua before Ramadan? The one we have been saying for a whole month. Allahumma ballighna Ramadan. And that's actually a dua of a Sahaba. The companions used to say, Allah, oh Allah, make us live till we see Ramadan, or give us and give, including many meanings. One of them is make it the best Ramadan, make us give Ramadan is do right. But let's assume we are next week, Tuesday, and they announced that Ramadan is tomorrow. Is there a special dua for Ramadan? The answer is no. But it's the dua of every month. And what is the dua of every month? Every time you see the moon, there's a dua. Allahumma ahillahu alayna bil-yumni wal-imani wal-salamati wal-islam hilalu khayrun wa rujd rabbi wa rabbuka Allah. And this is how it is. Oh Allah, make it come to us, because we already saw it. Okay, so let it be this moon, meaning the month, because the moon is the month or the time. So make it comes to us bil-yumni wal-iman. Safety, belief, and usually it's mainly safety, and Islam, submission. هلال خير ورشد. This is the moon that's going to bring a lot of goodness and guidance. And then this is what you have to say. ربي وربك الله. My Lord is yours and mine. Meaning, I submit to Allah that even He owns the moon. So that's the first thing you do when Ramadan comes in next week, and then hopefully it will be a habit. Unfortunately, here we are not very used to the lunar months. One simple suggestion I say, وَلِلَّهِ الْحَمْدِ, this technology, all the phones has both. So just add it to your phone. And then when you look at the dates, it's going to, under it, give you the Arabic date. So when you click, you will know the date. Then you will know, at least so you don't miss the dua of that month. Or when is the 13, 14, 15? Let's assume it's cloudy. Let's assume it's rainy. So you know. So just add it to your calendar. Why dua or supplication, invocation is related to Ramadan? Why?
Say it again.
Why everyone talks about invocation, supplication related to the month of Ramadan?
Because it has 70 times more reward for everything we do. Dua.
You know it طبعا أكيد مباشرة. Why is that? Read the Quran. And we mentioned this in the seminar we did. Read the Quran. Go back to Surah Al-Baqarah, right, to the cow, and read the verses of the fasting. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about fasting, then He talked about the month of Ramadan itself, and then talked about that you finished the month, and there is Eid, tukabbirullah, you will say Allahu Akbar, and then you will be grateful. What is the next ayah? The famous ayah. وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ أُجِيبُ دَعْوَةَ الدَّاعِ إِذَا دَعَانِ فَلْيَسْتَجِيبُوا لِي وَلْيُؤْمِنُوا بِي لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْشُدُونَ. If my servants ask you about me, I am, there is no say, there's no tell them. I am near. I am close. أجيب دعوة الداعي إذا دعان. Here comes the supplication. I will respond to their supplication, or to the one who asks me when they ask me. فَلْيَسْتَجِيبُوا لِي. Let them follow the orders. وَلْيُؤْمِنُوا بِي. Let them believe in me. لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْشُدُونَ. So they will be rightfully guided. And there is a lot of talk, beautiful talk about this ayah in the middle. And one of them, it says, this ayah followed the ayah immediately after. Allah says the ayah after, وَلْيُكْمِلُوا الْعِدَّةِ. Wow. So they will finish the iddah. The iddah is the 30 days of Ramadan, or the 29. So they finish the month. وَلْيُكَبِّرُوا اللَّهَ عَلَى مَا هَدَاهُمْ. They will glorify Allah, how He guided them throughout the month of Ramadan. That's why there is, in the day of Eid, Takbiratul Eid, Allahu Akbar. Why? Because this is part of we are as nation, as ummah, glorifying Allah that He helped us to finish the 30 days. Then لَعَلَّهُمْ يَشْكُرُونَ. So this is all related. You finish, you glorify Allah, you are so grateful. Then you ask Allah and He will give you. So you need to do this, and then you ask Allah and He will give you. And then the ulama, the scholars, concluded from this is that before you make a dua, that's why you glorify Allah and be grateful, and then ask Him immediately. And they said He put it in the Siyam itself, and the Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam explained this. What did the Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam said about supplication and Ramadan or fasting? We shared this 2 weeks ago. I hope you didn't forget, because I'm going to be very sad. You look like you did. Alhamdulillah. Two things, two hadiths, two saying of Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam related to fasting and supplication. So now we talked about Ramadan. But the fasting itself, there's two things. ثلاث لا ترد دعوتهم. Three individuals, their supplication is granted. It will not be rejected. And Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam saying this. Number one, الصائم حتى يفطر. The person who's in a state of fasting, as long as he is fasting till he eat or breaks his fast. So I and you this year will have about 16 hours every single day of asking Allah whatever you want, and it is granted. This is one of the positive ways you look at the long days of Siyam. Instead of saying it's 16, I'm going to be dead, look at it and says 16 hours.
Of dua.
Bring your list. 16 hours, including, Ya Allah, make it easy. Ya Allah, make the fasting easy. So 3, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, their dua is granted. 1, as-sa'imu hatta yaftar. The person who is in a state of fasting till he or she breaks the fast. And then, وَدَعْوَةُ الْمُسَافِرِ, the person who's traveling. And وَدَعْوَةُ الْمَظْلُومِ, and the supplication, the invocation of that person who injustice have been done against him or her. And specifically about this one, it says, this one will go up to Allah, no barriers. And Allah will say, I will give you victory. And he says, وَعِزَّتِي لَأَنصُرَنَّكَ إِلَى حِينٍ, I will give you victory. So be very careful when you do injustice to someone and that person makes a dua against you. Or if someone makes injustice against you, don't do anything, just make a dua. Done. So here you are. So in the state of fasting, and I have 30 days coming, all my 16 days, 16 hours, I am state of opportunities. Opportunities for me to ask whatever I want. Jannat al-Firdaus, I die as a shaheed, my child goes to the best school, I get the best house, anything, dunya and akhirah. And we will share what he used to say, alayhi salatu wasalam. Then this is when you break your fast, there's another moment of dua that is granted. للصائم عند فطره دعوة لا ترد. And here they said it is after he or she breaks her fast. So you take the date, you take the water, right, and then make a dua. And it says Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Amr ibn al-As, it's a Sahabi, the son of Amr ibn al-As, used to, after he breaks his fast, brings all his family and start making dua. So 2 opportunities. I have the 16 hours, and then I have after I eat, immediately after I break my fast, and then gonna come, there's more windows in this moment. And either before I go for Maghrib, as I'm going for Maghrib, or even during my Maghrib, if I just broke my fast, and I am in a state of Salah, and I'm making dua. So how many opportunities we have so far? Then the question comes up, what I'm gonna say. Right, simple answer. If you don't know anything, right, say whatever you want to say, and it doesn't have to be in Arabic, in your own language. As simple as this. But what did we say in the beginning of the class today? We're going to move from just doing to doing the best. So what is the best I should say? In general, as I said in the beginning, other than the dua, the supplication of the night of Al-Qadr, and we will come to it at the end, there is nothing specific that Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam specified for Ramadan. But what did he used to say? Or what did he taught? And I looked at this, alhamdulillah, Allah made me come to some of these. And a Bedouin came to Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, and he says, علمني كلاما أقوله. And this is in Imam Muslim. Teach me something I say. طيب, Bedouin, teach me something I say. قال. طيب, and I will send this to you later on, inshallah. طيب, قال, قل, say, لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له. You all know this. لا إله إلا الله وحده, there's no God but Allah, there's no partner to it. الله أكبر كبيرا, Allah is the greatest of the great. والحمد لله كثيرا, a lot of praise and gratefulness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Subhanallah Rabbil Alameen, glorify is Allah, the Lord of the world. Right? لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. You all know this, right? No power, no change of status without Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العزيز الحكيم, the might, the wise. That's not it. So the Arabi looked at him and says, this is, I praised Allah. What about dua for me? Amazing, I love this, because we all say this, like, but I want something for me. And this is, that's what he said. قال فهؤلاء لربي. Everything I said, I praised Allah. فما لي, what about me? What do I do for myself? Now, memorize this. That's easy and very short. قال الرسول عليه الصلاة والسلام, قل, say, اللهم اغفر لي وارحمني واهدني وارزقني. done. All your dunya and akhirah. قل, say, Allahumma غفر Oh Allah, forgive me. Warhamni, Ya Allah, have mercy on me. Shower me with your mercy. Wahdini, guide me. Warzuqni, give me sustenance. And don't look at sustenance, as we always said, only food or it's only money. Knowledge is sustenance. Good children is sustenance. Feeling good inside you, although the world around you is in turmoil, this is rizq. And there is a commentary about this hadith. The narrator said, I wasn't sure if he said wa'afini, give me health. That's why some of you said, like, where is it? He said, I'm not sure, right? But we know this in the dua, in salah we say this. So memorize this, combine it, glorify Allah, and that's what he taught him. Subhanallah, alhamdulillah kathira. And then for yourself, اغفر that's the most important one. اغفر warhamni wahdini warzuqni. 4, very easy. طيب? So that's the main one. Second, and this dua that we're going to share, you all know it. Either you say it by itself or you say it before you ask Allah. Which one? Dua Dhannun. Yes, dua Sayyidina Dhannun, Yunus. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. Oh Allah, glorify, لا إله إلا أنت, لا إله إلا أنت, no God but you, سبحانك, glorify you, إني كنت من الظالمين. I am and I was from the wrongdoers. 2 ways you say this dua. You say it alone, by itself is more than enough. Why is more than enough? Because the scholars teaches us, he did not ask anything. He didn't, but Allah knows what he needed. He didn't say, Allah, get me out of the whale, right? He didn't say it. He said only, he said, لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. And what happened? The whale right away threw him out. So Allah knows what you need. So if you say this by itself is enough, or if you have specific and you know what you want to ask, precede what you want with this dua. Because they say this is one of the reasons Allah will answer this dua, what you are asking for. If you, before you ask, you say, La ilaha illa anta subhanak inni kuntu min al-zalimin. So now this is one. Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq asked the same question. And he said, and this is actually in Bukhari and Muslim, he said, علمني دعاء. Sayyidina Abu Bakr asked Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam. He said, علمني دعاء أدعو به في صلاتي. Now you have even more specific. Teach me something, teach me a supplication. I will say it in my salah. Now, think of this. Now you have 3 opportunities. The month is an opportunity. The state we are in is an opportunity, because we just said the person who is in a state of fasting, his dua or her dua is granted. Now specifically in my salah. Right? And he didn't specify if it is a fard or if it is an obligatory salah or it is an extra salah. So he said, علمني, teach me something, I say it in my salah. قال الرسول عليه الصلاة والسلام, and this is a sound hadith in Bukhari and Muslim. قال قل اللهم إني ظلمت نفسي ظلما كثيرا ولا يغفر الذنوب إلا أنت فاغفر لي مغفرة من عندك وارحمني إنك أنت الغفور الرحيم. I'll translate. Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam said to Sayyidina Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with him, say to him, I want you to feel this. This is Sayyidina Abu Bakr, the one who was given Jannah, the one who is only one without a name, but he was referred to in the Quran, صاحبه, the companion of the Rasul. إذ قال لصاحبه, he said to his friend or companion. And what did he taught him? قُلْ إِنِّي ظَلَمْتُ نَفْسِي ظُلْمًا كَثِيرًا. Say, I have wrong done to myself a lot. I have done injustice to myself. What should I and you say? Number 1. And فَاغْفِرْ لِي, because I have done so much wrong things, sinned, فَاغْفِرْ لِي فَإِنَّهُ لَا يَغْفِرُ الذُّنُوبَ إِلَّا أَنْتَ. فاغفر لي مغفرة من عندك. Forgive me, a special forgiveness from you. وارحمني, and have mercy upon me. إنك أنت الغفور الرحيم. So that's in Salah. So now I want you to feel it again. All the day in Ramadan, I am fasting 16 hours, including I have a headache. Turn to Allah and says, Ya Allah, make it easy. I mean it. I feel so tired because it is. I mean, especially for those of us or those of you who have not fasted since last Ramadan, the first day is not going to be easy except when Allah makes it easy. So this is the first thing. You're going to say, Ya Allah, make it easy. Make the job easy that day. Make everything goes smooth. Make me sleep well. All these simple dua. And then if you're, alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen, everything is going well, then stay in the dua. And look what, so far I shared with you, it's about asking Allah for forgiveness. Asking Allah for forgiveness. Remember what we talked about 3 weeks ago. رَغِمَ أَنْفَ, humiliated is the one who Ramadan comes, he lives throughout whole Ramadan, finish, and he is not forgiven. Remember the hadith? So here you go. One of the ways that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive me is me asking for forgiveness. And not asking, just asking. I am really asking for forgiveness, not only in the night of 27 or 23 or 25, the whole month. Then when you come at the time off, you just put the dates in your mouth or the water in your mouth. That's another opportunity. Again, all of you know, La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu min al-zalimin. The supplication, invocation of Sayyidina Yunus. Say that. Then in the salah, the same thing. You can write these, and in the nafil salah, you can read it. Or you can even tape it and then keep listening to it. So at the time of salah, where other places in Ramadan, specifically in other days, the dua is granted. And in one day you have it all. And especially in Ramadan. And why I'm saying this in Ramadan, because we're going to pay more attention. Number one, if you want to take the day starts from the night, or you want the day starts from the day as we are here. Number one, when the adhan is being called. And when you are in the masjid, please don't talk to each other. Don't talk to each other or check your phone or whatever. Especially when the muaddin is calling for the adhan. Even more, between the adhan and the iqamah. And this is really painful when you see people talking. It's literally like, think of it, may Allah forgive us, but we have to give dunya examples. Like someone comes to this room and gives everybody $100. $100, free. And then you are talking with your friend, and that person goes out. And then everybody look at you and says, did you get your $100? What are you going to say? Where is it? Says, oh, he was right there. Oh, I didn't see him. Think of it this way. I can talk to my friend later. I can look at my phone later. That moment is between the adhan and the iqamah, right? The night of, in general, let alone the night of Ramadan. And especially the last hour of the night, which most of us, why I'm saying this in Ramadan, because most of us are awake, because we are having suhoor. So here you go, as if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I say this to myself, as if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forced me and you to make a dua. Because most of us, especially these days, will be up, at least to drink water. To have something to keep you going, again, because it's a long days. So in that, as you are eating, even if there is 5 minutes, how long it will take, La ilaha illa anta subhanak inni kuntu min al-zalimin? How long it will take, Ya Allah, forgive me? How long it will take to say, Ya Allah, accept from me? Ya Allah, improve it. Ya Allah, make it better. Any of these. So at the time of as-sahar. Now comes, there will be Friday, and there will be Ramadan, and then I will be fasting. Already. Add to it the time. You come for Jumu'ah, same thing. And in the Jumu'ah on a Friday, there is even more specific times. Like see how everything inside everything. And in Jumu'ah, when you come for Salah of Jumu'ah, same thing, but you're going to look for the hour of that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant your dua. And again, it's amazing in our deen, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the times where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I will grant your dua, is not specific. For example, it's the last hour of the night. But what time? right? For example, Laylatul Qadr, the night of Qadr. What night it is? He left it. So what? We seek it and we work hard for it. Same thing for Friday. Is it when it's called, the adhan is being called? Is it when the imam comes? Is it between the adhan and the iqamah? Is it after the salah? Or it is the last hour of the day? So here you go. As in Ramadan, state of fasting, I'm going to take them all. If I am working on a Friday, everybody will be home before Maghrib. Right? For those of you who will be here for Jumu'ah, Alhamdulillah, you have it all. But for those people who are working, Alhamdulillah, Allah will give them. But remember the last hour. So don't be cooking. And I keep saying this to the woman. Don't waste your time frying this or preparing this. And it is the moment. It's only for Jumu'ahs. It's only 4. And I don't know if I'm going to be living to the next one. So take the opportunity of it. Then we come to the inside salah, the place, and that is sujood. Whether the salah is obligatory, whether it is the salah is voluntary. In your sujood, you're not going to make it like Subhanallah Rabbil A'la and up. You're going to make your dua. You'll make dua. And in it, do whatever you want. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu min al-zalimin. I'm repeating this because I want you, most of you know it. But at least add 1 or 2 dua. I'm going to share with you one more. A Sahabi was asked, actually Sayyidina Anas was asked by a follower. He said, what was the most common dua that Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, you heard him saying in general? And what do you think the answer was? ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ولله الحمد. Everybody knows this. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة. Oh Allah, give us in this dunya goodness. And he said 1, goodness, but he left it open. It's not al-hasana. There's no alif lam. He did not define it. He left it unidentified. وفي الآخرة حسنة. And in the hereafter, another hasana, وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. Amazing this dua, how much it has a value. Because where do you say this dua also? Where? A tawaf between the Rukn al-Yamani and Hajar al-Aswad. It's the place where between the angle of the call al-Yamani and then where it is the black stone. That one you hear the millions saying the same. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة, because that's what he said عليه الصلاة والسلام. Where did this dua came in the Quran? In Surah Al-Baqarah, in the Hajj. After they finished Hajj. That's what Allah teaches us. So here you go. The most common, he said, ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة. What is the hasana in dunya? Simple answer. Anything that will bring you closer to Allah and will give you goodness in the hereafter, that's hasana. So if I am going to be the most successful business person in dunya and it will bring me closer to Allah, that's hasana. If I am going to have 7 children and all will bring me closer to Allah, that's hasana. So it is, you look at yourself and leave it to Him, subhanahu, to give you what is the hasana. Fil akhirati hasana, Allah only knows. And it's not only Jannat al-Firdaus, more and more. So here you are. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. In the salah, what he taught Sayyidina Abu Bakr, اللهم إني ظلمت نفسي ظلما كثيرا لا يغفر الذنوب إلا أنت فاغفر لي رحمة وارحمني إنك أنت الغفور الرحيم. Then comes to the night of Al-Qadr. And this is the only one where Sayyida Aisha actually asked him عليه الصلاة والسلام. قالت أرأيت. She said, Ya Rasulullah, do you see if I know this is the night of the Qadr, what should I say? Amazing. And this is the beauty what we learn. Simple dua, no details, no dunya. What was the dua? اللهم إنك عفو تحب العفو فاعف عني. Did you see what's the common in everything we talked about it now? Asking forgiveness. Subhanallah. And he didn't ask, he could teach her anything, alayhi salatu wasalam. Right? Allahumma innaka afuun, in the Kareem, which some people say it's an extra. A lot of the scholars tells you it's not part of the hadith. Yeah. Allahumma innaka afuun tuhibbul af fa'fu anni. Ya Allah, you are what your character, your name, your attribute is afu. Afu is not only forgiving, that's al-Ghafur. You're the one who forgive and pardon. Pardon, nothing, I didn't do anything. فَإِنَّكَ عَفُو. And now another praise to Allah. See the adab, see the etiquette. تُحِبُّ الْعَفْوَ. You love to pardon. If Allah loves to pardon, what does He want from me? Ask. For example, I love to make cakes. So what should I, if you love to make cake, what should I say? Please make cake. Right? This is what He's teaching her. Allahumma innaka afu tuhibbul af fa'fu anni. Ya Allah, your character, your attribute is pardoning, and you love to pardon. Fa'fu anni. That's the dua of Laylatul Qadr. As we are saying about Laylatul Qadr, and I see this here and I see it everywhere, please, 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 the night of the Qadr is not a 27 only. We have no idea. So the night of 27, it could be the night of 28, and it could be the night of 29. And there is a special place for the night of the 29. A lot of you not aware, because if you were aware of it, this masjid will not be empty on the 29. What's the virtue of the night of the 29? If it is not the night Laylatul Qadr, if it was not this year, it is the night that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give the rewards. And they say, Al-Amil, the person who works, you give him his money or his fees at the end, when he finished the work. The night of the 29 is when I finished. So how can I be at home shopping, buying for Eid? Unfortunately, I think it's a lot of it is we don't know. We don't know. So 29, for sure I am here. I am sure I am here. Even if the night of the Qadr was the 21st, it doesn't matter, because this is even extra special. We don't know which night it is. And even if it is, the hadith of Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, he said, تَحَرُّهَا فِي الْعَشْرِ الْأَخِيرِ. The first one, he said, look for it in the last 10 days. Another hadith says, look for it in the odd nights. Now, remember the usual every year we have. The Ramadan this day, Ramadan that day. Right? There's always two possibilities. So if I follow one possibility, can the other possibility be right? Could be. So if I follow the odd nights according to what I did, and I did not do anything in the 22nd or 24th or 26th, then I missed it. And then how many times it happens when they come and says, you know what, probably Ramadan should have been the day before or the day after. So here we are again in the last 10 days, like when you start preparing and preparing and preparing, and the last 10 days is where you are focused mainly in dua. And that's what it is. And you put a list to what you want from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Of course, when you are in real dua, the list is all gone. Do you know this? When you are really in that state and your heart is there, nothing comes. Nothing. La ilaha illallah. Sometimes you say, you know what I want. Right? So the whole, exactly. And actually, Sayyidina Umar, he used to say the famous line, you probably all have heard that. He said, أَنِّي لَا أَحْمِلُ هَمَّ الْإِجَابَةِ وَلَكِنِّي أَحْمِلُ هَمَّ الدُّعَاءِ. I am not worried that Allah will not answer me. I am worried I am not going to be in the right state of dua. Meaning, I'm going to be tired, sleepy, lazy. My heart is not there, distracted by talk, by someone, by phone, by whatever. So one of the dua you make for yourself, that Ya Allah, بلغني ليلة القدر, make me live to see the night of the Qadr and make me give it its due right. And that you make this for yourself, especially for those who works in that night. So look at the dua as my opportunity and special opportunity. May Allah forgive us. The big places, the most expensive stores, when do they make sales? They don't make sales every day. You know that. When do they make the sales? When do they make the sales? Usually in June and in December or January. That if you go to these places, you don't see sales every day. So may Allah forgive us. Allah is exalted. But for us, our opportunity is the next week. It's next week. And it is the month I and you, we will be doing many things many good deeds, but the most important, least expensive, cost me nothing, is supplication, is asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give me. And the most important thing is, and Allah forgive me. And what is the sign that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgave you? How do you know? What's the signs? And we don't know for sure, but what is the signs?
You mean on the nights?
In general.
You feel satisfied?
There's number one, if you are in the right state of the dua itself, you know Allah has granted you. If you are in that moment where your heart is there, where you are, especially if you're crying, if you are so focused, you don't know what's happening around you, know Allah has already given you. Allah has already granted you. How do you know all your Ramadan? The dua is granted, your ibadah is granted, and you were, bi'idhnillah, and you and all of us and all the Muslims were of those who are Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam. We will not be under that, who they will be humiliated if Ramadan comes and leaves and they are not forgiven. Is see yourself, your hal on the Eid. See how you are. If you are I and you and us and Muslims back to square one before Ramadan, then I only was hungry and thirsty and tired. Have to be changed. It's a 30-day camp. Let's bring an example from dunya. If you start exercising daily, I'm not going to say 16 hours, 1 hour a day for 30 days, what will happen at the end of 30 days? For sure, if you didn't lose weight, you will be much healthier, much more flexible. You'll see it, you'll feel it, and even people will look at you, right? So after 30 days of fasting, 16 hours, and we live in a non-Muslim country, they look at you and says, 30 days, you don't eat, 16 hours? If none of this changed me, then I have a huge problem. I have a huge problem. So look for this Ramadan. And this is how I always tell myself, this is the last Ramadan. No more. No more. This is how you look at it. When you look at it this way, it's going to be an opportunity. And everything else will be less. And definitely, ijtahidi fi dua. It's not only I'm going to make a dua, but I'm going to make a lot of dua. Time it. How much, we all time how much Quran I finished. How many salah I did, especially in the last 10 days. Oh, I made 20, I made 100. Right? Alhamdulillah, it's all good. But how much dua you made? How much dua you made? So remember all these. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us live to next week. Ya Rabbi Ameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala teach us even more till we get there. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala most importantly ينفعنا بما علمنا. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala benefit us from everything we learned and make us, give us the resolve, give us the himmah, give us the ability to practice what we learn. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from us. That's the most important thing. I don't even know if what fasting I am fasting, which kind. Remember the 3 kinds. I'm going to end up with this. Aim to the top, and at least you will get the middle. Don't be the one who will fast only from hunger and thirst. That's it. No, let's be those at least every part of my body will be fasting, let alone my heart. That my heart will have no thinking, no thoughts, no distractions, this and that, or she said, or he said, or my husband, or my children. It will be my Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And wallah ladhi illahu, it happens. Yes, Yasmin.
Can I just share something?
Yes, of course you can.
When I first became a Muslim,
Yeah.
and I learned about 27,
Uh-huh.
having the Laylatul Qadr,
Uh-huh.
I made dua to Allah, please, Ya Allah, help me to reach. Then the last 10 days came and I got my monthly.
Uh-huh.
And subhanAllah, when I got my monthly, I wasn't praying, so I slept, right? And I dreamed. In my dream, somebody said, it's Laylatul Qadr, wake up. Why are you sleeping? And it wasn't the 27th, it was just one of those
Nights.
So it's just, because of the dua.
Exactly. Yeah, don't underestimate the power of dua. And don't be miser. It should be. If we are in this state of mind and heart, when someone comes in before Isha and the Adhan, it should be silent. Literally, it should be silent, right? Because nobody, I'm sorry, it's not the right time. I'll talk to you later.
Unfortunately.
You know, but I'll tell you what. We are here, 30 ladies, right? If the 30 ladies applies this, it's going to be infected. It's going to be like what? Like an epidemic. Because khair spread, and also, unfortunately, evil spread. One person starts talking, everybody starts talking. Have you seen this? Right? And and don't worry about the others. Don't talk, oh, it's time, oh, I learned. Don't do this. Because now you are missing the opportunity. Focus on yourself. Part of the dua, make everyone silent. Part of your dua, make everyone focus. Part of your dua, bring their hearts like you bring mine. Make a dua for your sisters like you make for yourself. So absolutely, from day one, you are looking at, Ya Allah, make it the best, and every day better than the other. And Allahumma, the last 10 days of Ramadan, I highly encourage everyone of you who works, take that, if you can, the odd nights off. I mean, it's going to fall, some of them will fall on a weekend, alhamdulillah, but definitely take some time off. Because it's not as the same as if you are working, although, and I will share this last thing with you, it was last year, it was 2 years ago, and it was one of the last 10 days, and I got a phone call, I just finished Dhuhr in the Haram, can you imagine this? I got a phone call, one of my best friends in labor. So my roommate looked at me, you can imagine what happened to me, right? But then I said, you know what, let me go, right? Because you never know, this may be the one that will Allah accept. But she saw me, yani, come on, because I know I'm not going to come back for Taraweeh. I mean, I'm going to go and deliver. And everything. She looked at me as I am leaving, and she said once in Arabic, and I'm going to translate, she says, Hayfa la'allaha al-munjiyah. She says, Hayfa, this could be the saver for you. The saver, meaning this could be this act, because you did something for the other. Although you want to do the act of ibadah, and I want this to all of you, because don't look at obedient to Allah is only by I am upstairs and making dua. This is, but if you give up your place and let someone sit in your place, you gave your parking, you helped someone, although you left the most beloved for all of us, this could be in the sight of Allah because you gave up something for the others. This could be al-munji. Al-munji is the saver, the thing that will save us. So my advice to everyone, myself included, Ramadan is an opportunities. Be watchful of what opportunities Allah will give you. You know, don't look at the opportunities you want. Look at the opportunities Allah will bring you. You know what I am saying? Anything, your neighbor, non-Muslims, it doesn't matter. And then your manners. Look at this, and this what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by His grace will be. And as a result of this, see what Allah will open for you for dua. What Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will open your hearts for things. And you feel it. You know what I'm talking about. So again, don't be too narrow. Open it up. Learn some du'as from now. You have one more week. Write it on a piece of paper. Put it on your car. Put it in the kitchen. Put it in your bedroom. One or two du'a. La ilaha illa anta subhanak inni kuntu min al-zalimin. You all know it. Learn one or two. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة. May Allah make me remember it. Because we know, but we don't remember. In your sujood, it's going to be a little bit longer sujood. And in salah, before you finish your salah, that's another opportunity for dua. Or after salah also. There's two opinions. The sounder opinion is before you make salam. So don't rush and say salam alaikum. No, take your time. I mean, unless there's an emergency, it's a different story. But in general, we don't have the emergency. So take your time. Ask Allah for dunya and ask Allah for akhirah. جزاكم الله خيرا. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه تسليما كثيرا. SubhanAllah, there's a barakah today. Yeah, it's 8 o'clock. I couldn't believe it. Yes.
One more place where it was accepted, like Jummah and the confirmation.
Yes, I said that. Yes, between the two khutbahs. So Jumu'ah, and it's going to be this Friday. The Friday after will be the first Jumu'ah in Ramadan. You're going to be Thursday night learning everything about Jumu'ah, what we just said in a quick manner. You're gonna make opportunity, even if you don't come for Jumu'ah, whatever the reason, right? It's still a blessed day. It's still a blessed day, and everybody has the hour before the Maghrib. But most of you, I see you in Jumu'ah. So make it and spread the khair. Don't give lectures to people. Especially if you don't know them. Yeah, because people will get offended, right? Don't do that. But if somebody you know, just say, you know what, I just want to make dua, it's Jumu'ah. Khalas, that person will learn. You don't have to say, oh, it's a Jumu'ah, there's an hour, all this. They get offended. You say, you know what, let me just finish my dua and I will talk later. They will feel it. And they will feel shy. And bi'idhnillah, next thing you will see their hands are up. And then you will get the reward for that. Inshallah. جزاكم الله خيرا. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله